Hello, my name's Keith Gray, and this is my book, The Last Soldier, which I'm so very, very proud to have on the shortlist of the 2017 Scottish Teenage Book Prize. And my book, it's set in East Texas in 1922, and the story follows two brothers, Wade and Joe. Their father, he went off to fight in the war in Europe, and he never returned. But what does come to their town is the carnival. The carnival arrives with all its excitement and all its noise, and Joe and Wade, they go to the carnival but discover something really quite sinister hiding among the rides and the Ferris wheels. He was sitting in a chair right up close to the glass, a soldier in full uniform with a rifle across his lap, his mouth open, wide, screaming. It wasn't a false scream, not like the dummy Wolfman. This was lips peeled back from teeth, eyes bulging, terrified. Pain stretched the skin as he cried out. The last soldier looked very real. I couldn't stop staring at him. I leaned towards the glass, but I didn't touch it. Was I just being young and foolish again? I couldn't see any paint smudges, and he didn't look like rub smooth wax. His face was like pale, stretched leather. It was tight across his forehead and nose, yet his cheeks were sunk and shadowed. I took a step away from the glass. My own skin prickled with chills. And then I saw the bullet hole. His chest had a blackened hole as big as a nickel, a deadly hole punched through a uniform, perfect in every other way. I looked from the bullet hole to his face. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. He sat there silently, screaming at me. This is the first time I've ever tried to write a book that wasn't set here and now in modern times, in modern Britain. But I couldn't have written this story if I had set it now. In modern Scotland, we don't have the kind of carnivals that have freak shows and museums of marvels and that kind of thing that I needed for the story. I enjoyed writing the dialogue. I enjoyed finding the voice for Wade, the narrator of the story. I didn't do any academic research to find out how people spoke in 1922 in Texas, but I did read lots of novels and lots of short stories based around the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century, set back then. And my plan was that I didn't want to give any long, boring descriptions. I wanted the reader to feel a sense of time and a sense of place through the way that Wade spoke and through the weird and wonderful words that he used back then that we might not use these days. The relationship between the two brothers, Joe and Wade, is absolutely central to the story of The Last Soldier. And if I had any hints or tips on how to write realistic relationships, I think the best advice I've got is to be a good observer, to observe the world around you as best as you can, and use your memories and get them down on the piece of paper as honestly as possible. Even though Joe and Wade live in East Texas in 1922 and they believe they're haunted by the ghost of a dead soldier, they're not that far away from me and my older brother, I don't think. You know, there's things that happened to me and my older brother and the way we felt and the relationship we had that have kind of gone into these characters just to make them sound that little bit more believable, that little bit more three-dimensional, if you like. The biggest piece of advice I've got for any new writers, and the advice I often give out, is that you really should write the kind of story you want to read. If you're a big fan of sci-fi, write a sci-fi story. If you're a big fan of horror or romance, then write a horror or a romance story. Don't write a book to please your parents. Don't write a book to please your teachers. If you write the kind of book that you really want to read yourself, it's going to be so much easier to write. You're going to get to the end so much quicker. And all that enjoyment that you have in writing it, all that fun you have in writing it, that's going to shine through on the page, and the reader's going to pick up on that. So because it's such a great story, then it's probably going to please your parents and please the teachers anyway. So definitely write the kind of thing that you personally want to read. I hope you really enjoyed taking part in the 2017 Scottish Teenage Book Prize. You're even more important than the authors, really, because it's your vote that counts. So I really, really hope you enjoy reading all three of the books. Have a great time. Happy reading.
Thank you.